everybody, it's Callie, and today we're gonna do some arts and crafts. Well, not exactly. I'm gonna do some arts and crafts. You can watch me, but we're gonna talk a little bit about OCD while I do it. I'm actually really glad that this is the video that I had planned for today because it's just like a gloomy, miserable day. The past couple days, I've kind of been going through it. Like nothing major, nothing to be worried about, but just excited for the opportunity to have some downtime and to sit and just work on creating something, because I think sometimes that's exactly what I need to do. Let me know if that's true for you too, if creating helps. Okay, so I said we're also going to talk a little bit about OCD. So the thing that I want to talk about today is why some people delay treatment. So there's a couple reasons I think that are kind of that stand out in my mind. I want to say though that, you know, I've talked about how I didn't delay treatment really once I found out what I was experiencing was OCD. However, what happened with me is after I started treatment, I backslid a little bit and experienced some of these feelings that almost made me want to put my treatment on hold. So I think this is something that is worth talking about from both angles. So whether you're afraid to start or whether you're in it and saying, oh my God, did I bite off more than I can chew? Let's get into that. But I also want to tell you guys the craft that I'm doing today. So I am formally trained as a painter, all that fun stuff, but when I was a little kid, the thing that I wanted to do more than anything, and like even into adulthood, I, you know, really would love to do something like this, hence why I'm doing what I'm doing. I really wanted to be the person in a like natural history museum who designs the dioramas. So designs the exhibits, paints the backdrops, arranges the animals or the scenery, kind of like set design. I wanted to do that so bad. Arrange the cases, like label things. I wanted to do that. That was my dream. So previously I've exhibited paintings and sculptures and all that. But now I'm actually exhibiting shadow boxes. We're going to make a shadow box today. So the shadow box that I have lined up for us to make today is actually with an Atlantic horseshoe crab. This is just a molt. They shed their shell throughout their life. So this is just a shell that washed up on a beach. I have a friend that lives a little bit closer to the Jersey Shore than I do, and he finds these all the time and gives them to me. So this is just a shell. There's no living or once living creature in here. And we are going to make a shadow box with this little guy. So I have a camera that I'm going to set up right here so you guys can watch me as I'm making my shadow box. So like I said, let's talk a little bit about why some people delay treatment in their OCD. So I think one of the main reasons, actually, one of the most simple and straightforward reasons, is that people don't know that they have OCD. They don't know that what they're going through is OCD. And I think that's something that we've talked a little bit about before, and why it's so important that we are working to dispel a lot of the misunderstanding about what OCD actually is. Because there are a lot of people, you hear this a lot, that they thought that OCD is one specific thing that you see either on TV or wherever else. I know I was like that, and when I finally found out that I had OCD, I said, oh my God, wait, I didn't know that it was anything like that. I'm not clean, I'm not organized. So not only is it annoying that people are like, oh, I'm OCD, or I'm so OCD, or whatever it is, whatever thing that they're, you know, obsessed with, quote. Not only is that annoying, but it's also really dangerous because people don't know what OCD is. So when you get down to, you know, the thick of it, it's that you are hurting people insofar as they don't know that the thing that they have is OCD and is treatable. So I think that's probably one of the simplest reasons. Whether they want to get treated or not is not really a factor in that. It's just like they don't know that it's something that they should be treating. What do we think about this paper in there as the background? I kind of like that. And then the little crabby guy will go here. And then I have some other little things that I can put here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one because I have some colors that might match this a little bit. I have all these little things, little scraps, little ephemera things that I think I might want to pull from to put something else in the box. So the next topic I think that is important to acknowledge when we're talking about why someone would delay treatment kind of goes hand in hand with the last one, and that's stigma. And that's just very plain and simple, a reason that people delay treatment for a lot of mental health disorders or any kind of issues that they're feeling. I feel like maybe that's something that we're kind of seeing changing, but it can't change fast enough, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? So the next one, I think that will keep people from getting treatment in a timely manner is this feeling of, oh, well, I'm not sick enough, or it's not bad enough that, you know, it's something that really impacts my life. But the thing is with that, one, that almost sounds like some kind of denial. I wonder if that has to do with a stigma thing. I don't know. But if there's something to do about it, it could always be better, right? So why wait until it is, quote, whatever you decide, whatever arbitrary thing is bad enough, right? So I don't know. I think that a lot of people say, oh, but there's people that are, you know, worse off. Maybe my OCD isn't as bad as so-and-so's, or whatever that reason is. That's not really valid to me. If there's a way to relieve your suffering or get to a better state of mind, or maybe be more productive, or just kind of better prepare yourself so that things don't get worse, why wouldn't you do that? Okay, I like where this is going. I'm thinking that that's really cute. Oh, I love it. I think I'm gonna put my little guy in there now. Okay, so let's pick out some little embellishments. This is my favorite part. So I was really lucky and I found somebody at a flea market that had all of these. They must have done something with like sea creature crafts or like beach crafts. They must have made something, and they had all these little things, like little baby starfish and all kinds of little shells and stuff. So I'm wondering what I want to put in there. I'll figure that out. So let's talk about what's kind of on the flip side of the whole, like, oh, well, you know, I'm not really sick enough. This is what happened to me, and this is the thing I think that I hear the most from other people when they're talking about their own experiences with getting treatment or delaying treatment, for that matter, is the idea that, like, I'm too sick, I'm not worthy, or there's nothing that can be done to help me type thing. And I know, like, I've talked about it firsthand, that really feels like it's the case. When you're suffering, it really feels like maybe you're too sick, you're some kind of special case, you're some kind of exception, right? That, you know, oh, maybe treatment works for some people, but I don't think it's gonna work for me because XYZ, because I know that I can't get better. And that's just not the case. So I've talked about it before in saying that, like, yes, your OCD is particular to you, and yes, there are a million different types of OCD because everybody's OCD is individual, but the treatment for them is virtually the same. Sure, the content might change of the therapy that you're doing, the exposures that you're doing, the essence of it and the idea remains the same. Eee, look at the little stars, they're so cute. Oh, in that bin with the stuff that I got at the flea market were also these types of things. I bet you I could put one there. That would be really cute. Sure, some cases are more complex or are a little bit more advanced, but I started to experience that feeling once I started treatment. Like I said, I kind of felt like I bit off more than I could chew at first, because it's a common experience, I think, for people to feel like their OCD gets worse during treatment before it gets better. And I know that that sounds really discouraging, but the point is to spike your anxiety, spike your OCD, and then have it trickle off. Spike it again, trickle off, spike it again. And each time it spikes, you find that it kind of gets less and less intense. And that's the whole point of treatment, is that you're not stopping the thoughts from happening, you're controlling your reaction to them. And you're saying, hey, wait a minute, this isn't as bad as I remember it being before. Maybe this isn't something that needs to send me into fight or flight and have me curled up in a fetal ball, which is literally what I was doing when I was at my worst. So you live and you learn. Okay, and to finish this off, I think I'm gonna glue a little bit of sand here in the bottom, and then I'm gonna add a flower somewhere, some kind of like baby's breath or something. Okay, so let's sprinkle in some sand into the glue. So now that my desk is all covered in sand, let's talk about my final reason, I think, for why people delay their treatment. And it's very simple. it's the inaccessibility of treatment, or they're just not in the know about what resources are out there for them to receive treatment. And I know that it is so disheartening and so discouraging when you hear that the wait to get to a therapist is many, many months or whatever. That's how it was when I first started. And really now, I think we are so lucky to live in a time where we can do therapy online, where we have access to therapists pretty much in the palm of our hand. If that's something that sounds like it would be interesting to you, then NOCD is the way to go. And they are available right now to start treatment today. Why would you delay treatment when it's literally right there? It's so easy. Like, the future that you want is right there. And NOCD can help you get there. So I am going to take a second off camera to set up the final details of my little thing, and I will show you guys what it looks like. All right, guys, the glass needs to be cleaned, but I put the little corners on the front of the box, and here he is. This is my product for today. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I do actually feel better now that I've made something and just talked a little bit. So sometimes that helps. Don't forget to look into NOCD because they do have certified therapists ready to help you with your OCD right now. And again, whether it's you feel like you're not sick enough, you feel like you're too sick, you feel the stigma, whatever reason is keeping you from therapy, that's something that they can talk you through and you can get started today. So on that note, I actually have a show coming up, so I have to make a bunch more shadow boxes. So I am going to get to that now. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.